Oh, it looks like I'm live. Surprise, everybody. All right, so I expect nobody's going to be watching this right now, but I am basically going to see, first of all, if I'm actually streaming. Let's see what my analytics say. Stream settings, analytics, viewer activity. It's not showing me anything, so I don't know if I'm actually live, but leave me a comment if I am live. Stream health, excellent. All right, so I'm going to be studying a little bit today. Now it's showing me. All right, here I am. I think I have it on a minute delay, so I can keep an eye on anything in the chat. So, you know, as usual, a bumpy start. So what I'm going to do today is a little bit of study, and I keep looking over here because I have my little monitor over here so I can see what I'm doing. I have been working through oh, good morning, everybody. Here they are coming in. All right, I've been working through I'm going to try to say it right, the Routledge Colloquial Hebrew textbook. And I know if you watch the channel, you're probably thinking, isn't that textbook that you always say that you hate? And the answer is yes, it's true. I absolutely hate it. The second edition, which has all of these errors. It has all of these editing problems. It actually lines up the words wrong, so you get vocabulary lists and they teach you just all the words wrong. But the first edition I have on PDF, and that's why I bought the second edition. I got the first edition on PDF through a university library. It was all, above board. But I felt like, if I'm going to use this for stuff, if I'm going to, really work my way through it, it'd be nice to have a paper copy that I can read on days that I'm not using technology. And, it'd be nice to have the author get paid. And the second edition is what I bought. That is the worst thing ever. I've been using the first edition. And I see a lot of, I'm not nobody. Good morning, good evening, hello to everybody. So I've been using the first edition of the Routledge Colloquial Hebrew, and I've been using the sort of method that I've talked about for a little while, that I've been kind of refining over the last year or so, of building Anki decks for myself. Now, I did this before going to Italy for a couple of weeks in August, and I had a few months, actually I think I had 2 months exactly, and I just took everything that I could from the PDF of the Routledge Colloquial Italian, again, purchased, like is above board, and I highly recommend that textbook to people, but I could just copy and paste that, and then I was using HyperTTS in Anki to do text-to-speech, and I was grabbing images here and there. I have been refining that a lot, and I've been doing that with the Routledge Colloquial Hebrew. So what I'm going to do is just keep working today. I was going to do this anyway, but I figured it might be nice to actually kind of share the process. Let's see, and I see some questions coming in. So I may get to the thought. Thank you. Oh, that's okay. So the question in the chat is a whole long thing, but I think the main thing might be either a dental T, so the tip of the tongue is like touching the teeth rather than the spot behind the teeth, and it can either be that or like a retraction of the th. So some people, like my th is like tongue all the way out. I remember saying this to some Chinese speakers who were learning English, and they were saying, thank you, and I was like, do this, like, and she's like, that's ridiculous. My tongue's out of my mouth. That's absurd. Like, I would never do that. And I was like, this is how I make that sound. So California, you might see some retraction of th, and some speakers, you might see some fronting, or like not fronting, but like a dental T as well, which is where you get that kind of overlap. All right, that out of the way. I'm going to see if I can. One, keep my internet cable actually plugged into my computer so I don't drop the stream. And two, I'm going to see if I can share my screen here. I'm going to move where I am on the screen so I can kind of see what's up. And yeah, so here's a Google Doc. This is chapter 13 of the Routledge Hebrew Colloquial. And what I've been doing, as you can see, I've been going through, I have the other chapters already kind of in my Anki deck, and I've built it out so I have a column for the front, which is my prompt in English. I have space for an image. The back, I'm going to copy the Hebrew with Nikud, but take away the vowels. I have a space for a mnemonic image in case I'm having a hard time remembering things. I have a space for sound, which I use, and I have a space for text. And just to kind of give you an idea of how this might look, I've been going through, text-to-speech is not great for Hebrew, but it does exist, and so that's nice. And so I've been going through and basically like I make these decks, and then as I study them, I kind of fix errors. So if I pick something recent and just browse my deck here, I can preview stuff for you. And you should be able to hear this because I'm getting better at live streaming. So if I have this, let's see. Oh, maybe I haven't added audio to this deck yet. What is that, 10? So let me go to... No, that should have audio. Okay, so let's browse 9. Let's pick something that actually has a sound that doesn't have a note. So I can preview. And I'm getting smart, so I want to be able to share these, so I actually have been using freepik and memes, lots of memes.
ביחד.
Let me know if you could hear that. I heard it, but what happens is I have this HyperTTS, so I'm using a lot of different things. I use Azure because I like this guy's voice, but then it consistently makes errors. Like, it does not believe that the feminine second-person pronoun exists, so instead of saying at, it's always et. And so sometimes I switch out the voices with Google WaveNet or Amazon. There's all sorts of different sources. But this is sort of what things are looking like as sort of a finished product that I've been using. I've been using this for a few months now, and it is blowing my mind how much better this is than Duolingo with Anki or whatever else. Like the Routledge Colloquial textbook doesn't actually have as much vocabulary as the full Duolingo course, but it has a tremendous amount of like good explanation, and it's well thought out what order things are presented in, and like it's just genuinely
בית פרטי.
So let's see. I actually can't see your comments right now, so I'm going to make sure that I can actually see you all. I see it's, sharing the videos about 6-7. Thank you. I don't know. It's kind of blown my mind how huge that's gotten. I thought I was going to dash off a quick response to an email that week, and like, who knows, maybe a couple people would watch it, and instead it did like 1.3 million views, and I'm getting stopped on the street, and it's very strange. So I love it. Keep it going, but it's very strange. I'm also getting like very angry comments, especially on like Twitter and other platforms that I don't really spend a lot of time on. But when I do check in, I get you're an idiot. I'm like, okay, we knew that. All right, so let's see. Oh, good, you all heard it. Japanese case markings. I'm not Japanese. What are case markings? I'm going to make a video about that. That is not something that I can answer in a live stream. The very short answer that I'll give you is that verbs require some number of nouns, 0, but it can be up to like 3. And then there's relationships between those. So if I give you a book, there's like me, there's you, there's the book. We have, pronouns and nouns. And to figure out like what the relationship is among those things, case marking. All right, so let's see. Is the textbook only for Hebrew? I'm studying Hebrew right now, but they have a whole series. I will be doing Persian again in 2026 for sure, because I think the system actually works. And the main thing that was a challenge for me is I was trying to cut up the audio that Routledge had to go with the textbook, which is excellent audio. It's very good stuff. I listen to those lessons now. They're fantastic. But when I try to cut them up, first of all, it doesn't have everything that's in the textbook. And second of all, it is quite difficult it's time consuming to cut up all the audio. And third, what I was doing with that textbook doesn't work. So I'm trying to do something better. And I'll show you a little bit more of what I'm doing. So for instance, this is a short sentence, right? We don't have children.
לנו אין ילדים.
Right, and I knew it was kind of an inversion of the or so instead of אין לנו ילדים, לנו אין ילדים. So it's like to us, like we don't have children. I've been, like I said, memes.
היום הכל שונה.
And the thing that I've been doing with this is trying to break everything up. Now, in later chapters, I'm having longer sentences, but in earlier chapters for this, if it was a long sentence, I would break it up into clauses, into adjuncts, into like little pieces. Because what I find is when I'm listening to somebody speak and I want to understand, or when I'm trying to actually generate something to say, I'm not thinking in full long sentences. I'm thinking in pieces that I fit together, and I'm hearing pieces that fit together. Thanks to case marking. And so, what happens then is it's a lot easier for me to learn the language when it's smaller pieces. So let's see if I have some good examples here. You can see I'm just drawing from everything. So this, I think, is the default sort of for letters. So this should be the feminine.
שלוש.
Shalosh.
היא רוצה.
And I'm finding that
בסדר.
even if I have just a dumb image like this, that I will remember liknot or hukone or whatever.
לקנות.
Yeah. Huose.
הוא עושה.
But the images are better. So even if, like I said, this is a very silly image to have, but literally anything works. And what I've recently hit on, and that will allow me to actually share this stuff, is I can use license-free images from Wikimedia Commons, from freepik, from all sorts of different places. So that's what I've been doing. That and memes, lots and lots of memes, especially in later chapters of this textbook. So I'm going to continue what I'm doing. I'll take a look at the chat, and then I'll continue what I'm doing with the textbook. You say, Haka says, I need this for Hungarian. I think you can do this for Hungarian. They might actually, I think Routledge has a Hungarian textbook, but you can do this for any textbook. The main challenge is the text-to-speech stuff. That's where it gets difficult, and it's sort of a question of what's available. I was really, really pleasantly surprised that I figured out that I could do this with Hebrew, although it is a lot of manual input in Hebrew. So I'm really learning this because I'm writing it all down, and then I'm catching typos in what I wrote down. And it's just like, there's just a lot of effort here where the Italian, granted, is much easier to remember in the first place, but I can just copy and paste. I'm going to take a look at these questions. Video on learning languages and neurodiversity. That is coming. I'm working on that. I have a few different things to look at, but ADHD is one because, as you said in the chat, poor working memory can be a challenge. Also, just the focus can be a blessing or a curse, right? Hyperfocus is amazing if you can tap into it, but if you can't, like, there's adjustments have to be made. Let's see, just praise for 6-7, so thank you. Duolingo and their AI. What are my thoughts on language learning AI? I get like 5 emails a week from AI learning platforms. And I generally, I don't feel great about it, but I do see the sort of promise of it because you can, LLMs, if they're trained on a sufficiently large corpus of like reasonable stuff that you might be engaging with, then it can be a pretty good way of generating a plausible, amount of language to learn. I think for example sentences, it can be very good. For explanations, it really is hit or miss. Like for Hebrew, I looked at ChatGPT, and I looked at some like various different AIs, and I kind of don't like using them because of the amount of water, like the amount of resources they take up. Although I'm told that's changing. I don't know if that's actually true. But I looked at ChatGPT and asked it a question about like, give me examples of Hebrew words with this sort of root structure, and it just did it wrong. It just like, I was like, I wanted, nif'al verbs, and any examples, if they exist, of nif'al verbs with 4 roots instead of 3. And what it did was give me the future of hitpa'el verbs in the first person plural, which is like nitpa'el, and count the tav as a root, and just, it spat out a ton of words, and it was like, this is not right. This is not what I was looking for. So for the actual grammatical explanations, it might not be as helpful. All right. In some of my videos, I speak some Mandarin. Am I still learning it? I have put that on the back burner for about 15 years. However, I have a very good friend who just moved to Taiwan, and I have friends, in the Far East, and also like there's tons of Chinese speakers here. So it's something that I will be going back to. I think once I'm more comfortable with this sort of method that I've been using, I may try to just really improve my vocabulary, because that's the main problem. All right. I see a much easier way to clip audio is just to play it on one device and record into Anki directly from Lang Explorer. Thank you for that. I think the main challenge that I was running into is I didn't want the full audio. I wanted to like take 2 words or something, and then I get in the weeds of like, how do I edit this? You'll all see in a video that's going to be released probably this week that I was looking at intonation, and I ended up like, recording the audio, cleaning the audio, importing it into Logic Pro, like messing with the timing, doing like alignment of the, like I get really into the tools, which is great for somebody, writing a publication on phonetics. It's not great for somebody just trying to like learn as many words as they can as fast as they can. All right, so let's see. Do I have my Acrobat Reader open? I do, and I have my textbook here. And so I'm in chapter 13, so there's no risk here that Routledge is going to be upset that you learned Hebrew from scratch by watching my live streams, because kind of not there. So let's see. We have an explanation of adverbs. This little thing is a cassette tape. This little symbol. So it's the audio's online. On the Routledge website, and they have it. It's actually great. But that's what that symbol is, and they're explaining adverbs that were used in the dialogue. So just as a review of sort of what I'm looking at, the textbook has dialogues. I transcribe all of this. So all of this, if you see, for those of you who can read this, I have these sentences here. So like, ulai chzor machar, like maybe I'll come back tomorrow. And what I did is first I actually went through all of the vocabulary and I put it into my Google document. And I have used a Google Translate formula here. So Google Translate, I dragged it all the way down, and then I correct these things as I go on. It's like clergy I might not like as the translation of Anshe Dat, sort of like religious people, but whatever, it'll work for memorizing it. And then once I've done all that, I went through the language points, forming adjectives, like stuff that's going to be in the dialogue, and then I went back and put the dialogue in. So like starting here, was that kaved? And then ulai chzor machar, like maybe I'll come back tomorrow. It says lo adoni ma pitom. So these are, I'm just typing them in, and then I go through and do all the exercises. So the exercises, exercise 1, some of these I might skip, but for the most part I add it. So like exercise 2, complete the following sentences by inserting adjectives formed from the verbs underlined. And this is like, fine, this is fine. So you have something here like sagarti et hadelet, so I closed the door, and then kshehadelet sgura lo shomim. When the door is closed, I don't hear. This is stuff that by the way, I would say I have not learned yet. I mean, it's familiar right now, but don't judge my accent. This is stuff I'm still inputting. And then we go through and just do this. Now for this, I would make this 2 cards, right? Like sagarti et hadelet, I close the door, and then the next card is going to be kshehadelet sgura lo shomim. When I put it all in one card, my eyes glaze over when that card comes up and my mind goes blank, and I actually have to use like some serious executive control to get started on the card. So when it's shorter, it's easier for me, and it's fine. Once they're all sort of in the same chapter, so you kind of recognize, oh, this is the passive or whatever. Especially if you've read the chapter, you know what it's doing. So like, if I make these available to everybody, I'd still recommend people buy the book. Get the first edition, get it on PDF if you want, but like, it's I don't know to what extent you can learn it without the book at all. Although that has not stopped some members of my immediate family from trying, and it seems to be going pretty well. One last thing, just about Anki, is when I go here to Routledge Colloquial Hebrew and I look at my stats, I've got, I think, about 12 chapters put in here. You can tell I've been studying. I've even been timing things around, so Fridays and Saturdays where I make sure that I get my Friday in early and my Saturday I can get in late. But this sort of dark green right here, that's going to be the stuff that I actually know. This is about 12 chapters, so there's going to be more that has to be added to this, but I have, what is this, a total of 3,100 cards. We'll say 4,000 cards approximately by the time that I have just absorbed and digested this textbook. And right now, what I will tell you is the cards that are these mature cards, I know that stuff. I actually went on iTalki last week and was just like, it was amazing to me to hear the words coming out of my mouth and like conjugations happening correctly. And like my teacher would say some stuff and I would actually understand what she was saying. And then I'd be slow as hell to try and actually say something back. But I understood what was said and I could piece together what I wanted to say. And I actually had the vocabulary to do it, which was amazing. This is like a huge breakthrough for me. So I have a trip coming up. I want to actually be able to speak. And I've been doing something like 40 new cards a day and like really hammering it home. But all this stuff, this blue and this light green, that's stuff that I should not expect to actually have at the tip of my tongue. And for me, I don't know about for you, for me, that is very, very reassuring when I feel like I only really know about a third of what I've studied. Well, it's because I actually only really know about a third of what I've studied. And I need to be patient and just keep chipping away at it and actually learn it. So let's see. Real question is, how hard is it to type in the non-alphabet languages? My answer is that I play it on easy mode. So I have the QWERTY Hebrew keyboard because there's no reason for me to memorize a different mapping. And it's actually quite easy for me to do that. You can do that on Apple with Cyrillic, with Persian, which, you know, that's part of why I plan to do it again. Main thing is the vowels in Hebrew. It took a while to find where they are on the keyboard. Let's see. I'm just getting compliments. Thank you all. Okay. And Zevel. All right. Let's see. Yeah, you didn't miss anything. I'm just starting to study. So we got to black is not the color of sorrow. We're going to start with adverbs here. So, oved caché. Maybe that's why you were asleep, is you oved caché. So I'm going to type it in. And for those of you who know Hebrew keyboard, what I'm actually typing on my my American keyboard is literally like HUAEOBD. But I can type this way quite fast. And then look, it's going to automatically translate that. He works hard. So there's, boom, my example. I probably didn't need to add this. I might have more cards than I need because I know all these words. But whatever. It's an example. They simply don't want to go. Him pashut. Right, so we're learning pashut. It's pashut is simple, but also pashut, you don't say like pashut li, simply. So in pashut lo rotzim lalechet. So I'm going to add that. Let's see if I can spell. Is it tav or tet? And like this is all vocabulary I know, so I maybe don't need to do this, but I kind of like having just the adverb in context. Let's see, what does it say to me? It says when the I started reading the chat. When the emphasis is on the way an action is carried out, the manner it's carried out, more than on the person carrying it out, the adverb can be preceded by words in the manner of, be'ofen, or b'tzura. Zevel, or any of the native Hebrew speakers, let me know if you say b'tzura ever. I haven't come across that yet, but I've definitely come across be'ofen, whatever, be'ofen klali, be'ofen shagui. So let's see. What do we have? Well, I'll just put be'ofen as... I'm not going to put be'ofen as its own word. I don't need to. B'tzura is like a shape, right? So I think I have that in... yeah. I think I have that already, but I'll add it just in case. Why not? Because I can't picture the image for it, so maybe I don't have it. What I found is, as I do this, when I build in the images, they're like, I see it when people say things. So a couple weeks ago, somebody was talking about the repetition of a verb like to hurry, talking about the weekly parsha and Rivka hurrying to the well and like yada, yada, yada. And I could see in my mind's eye, he memecheret, and I could see the picture that I had. So I know this stuff works. Let's see. He's a very good teacher because he explains it clearly or in a clear way. So humore meod tov ki hu masbir hakol beofen bahir. I think it has taught me masbir, but I will just in case, because I am sharing this with like family, I'll just put Leasbir. And this is a thing that I couldn't do 3 months ago. I see like Masbir and be like, oh, okay, who Masbir, who, and I know you don't say who with all these, but who Hisbir, who Hisbir, Hisbarti. This is actually where you get the oh, see, it's getting the vowels wrong here for me, so I'm gonna have to correct that. But this is where you get the word hasbara. Let's see. Whatever. I don't have to do T. I can do hisbarnu, and it'll get that right. And then what? Yasbir? Yeah. Yasbir. We will explain. And that, I can tell you, my mnemonic is going to be somebody explaining something over a beer happily, because Yasbir. Okay, so who umore meod tov. The one thing that I found too is that the text-to-speech that I have, invariably, if I write kol without a vav, it wants it to be a different word. And if I wrote meod without a vav, it wants it to be a different word. So hu more meod tov, ki masbir hakol beofen behir. So ki hu masbir hakol. So I have to add that vav. No, did they say hakol? No. So here's the thing. You may notice too, like, this is where there's just editing issues with these. Hakol is not in the example sentence in the Hebrew. So beofen bachir. Beofen bachir. And I'm going to take a look at this. Let's see. If I answer a question, I need to read it out loud, says Yanid. Thank you. Let's see. Do I make a flashcard for every sentence I come across, or 2 to 3 per grammar rule? I am dumping the entire textbook in here, but that's in part because this is a more challenging language for me than something like Italian. Let's see. Isabella says we do use Bitsura, just depends on the context. And I see history of, do I have videos on Hebrew, but do I have one on the history of modern Hebrew? If not, would I be interested in making one? I am currently making one. I've been doing the research for it. It's very interesting, and I'm trying to figure out how to frame it because it's going to make everybody unhappy. The people who say that Hebrew is not real and it's a made up conlang and colonial this and whatever that, they're going to be very unhappy with the facts of the history and of the language. But also the people who are like, it was never dead, are going to be a little unhappy with the sort of academic, technical aspect of like what that means. So it's another one of those videos where it's like everybody's kind of saying things where there's justification for what they can say, but it's not the full picture and it's not completely right. And it's going to be fun to actually finish this video up. But I've been a little, it's been an interesting time. But I see, let's see, another, what requests are you seconding? I see Snowflake saying, what's going on here? We're just learning some words. It's the usual. We're going to analyze some grammar, we're going to learn some words. All right, so let's see. Another way to form adverbs is to add the preposition be with the relevant noun. So he explains it simply, bepashut. Bepashtut. Oh, so simplicity, pashtut. So pashut and then pashut ut. I like that. So and then that's going to be like that sort of noun, right? So bechavrut, right? Like with friendliness. I don't know. We'll see where this goes. So let's see. I'm going to have hu, masbir, and then bepashtut. Let's see if Google agrees that that's what this is. He explained simply. Okay. All right. That video. I have no idea what language this is going to be in, so I don't know if it's like Y or Echrig or Echrig. If it's Dutch, okay. So, but hopefully you know who you are. It will be coming out soon, but give me a little while. Maybe I'll do it for like the 25th of Kislev. That could be fun. we'll do that. I think that's the plan. We're going to have a Hanukkah video drop. And I see the one for language learning for neurodivergent students. I'm going to do that as well. Somebody said, in my opinion, it's wild that Tiberian Hebrew had a uvular rhotic. There's a fantastic master's thesis about how trills just become uvulars over time. I have a total like crackpot theory that the European uvular rhotic Sprachbund, and I know I've lost like 90% of you right now with that, but that the European uvular rhotic Sprachbund maybe is influenced by Yiddish. I don't know. It's probably just phonetic pressures from ra just becoming ra, but I like my idea too. All right, so let's see. Bepashtut. And then exercise 8. Now, here's the thing. I don't have to do this exercise. I just got to add all these words. So, Bekoshi, I don't have to, like, map that to whatever because Google's going to translate it for me anyway. Just so you see, though, why I'm doing all this work. If I copy and paste this, that's what I get. I get some weird thing. So, let's see. Bekoshi. Somebody can tell me if that's correct. Seems like it, right? Difficulty. Let's see, with difficulty or hardly, so that's going to be right. And then let's see. I don't even know how to say that. So this is one where I might actually have to look this up. And that's another thing that I would do. So let's go to Wiktionary. See what I got here. Okay, hechle. This is always the one that I can't say. Hechletiyut. Okay, this I can't say it decisively. This is gonna be. Okay, I gotta do it. Indecision. Choser. Oh, I like that. You know what? I might add that because I've been working on choser words like choser shena and like choser. Whatever. Let's see. Hechletiyut. Okay, hechletiyut. Behechletiyut. Oh, can I find my way back to... There we go. Behechletiyut, decisively. Okay, now, let's see. This is a little bit in the chat, okay. Oh, Isabel bif... Okay, so pashut bifshtut. Bifshtut? Okay, this is the kind of thing that I actually start getting to. Just the AI's audio is generally good about that stuff. Let's see. Bitsniut, so modestly. And that I already had in my vocabulary list, so I'm not going to do it. It's already there. You see it like filled in. That's part of the benefit of like compiling all these together too, is I can drop something in and see if I already have it. Let's see. Besimcha. Besimcha Rabbah. Happily, let's see, what do we have? Be'itiyut, that's going to be slowly, I think, because my mnemonic for that, yeah, my mnemonic for slowly is itiyut, sounds like idiot to me. Let's see, something about Basque, okay. Well, I think I just lost the Basque Country comment, so Zevel, maybe you can tell me what I missed. Zichrut, okay. So you can see why I sometimes get typos and then they pronounce them because it's AI. Bekalut, easily. So kal, like light and easy. Bitsinut. Seriously. Bimherut. Bimhera. Okay. Veyamenu. Yavo. Okay, but sochek. Okay, so that's going to be like ingest, I think is what they had. Laughing. Let's see, I might correct that in English in a second. Banyan. Banyan. Banyan? I don't know. We'll find out. Okay. In the matter. So that must be with interest. And Betsev, so with great sadness. And so, like, I'll correct these right now. Let's see. Laughing, I'll keep that, but I'll add in jest. What did they say? With interest? And, okay. Let's see. Oh, you're talking about I see the conversation happening in the chat about bilingual areas and minority languages, and it's all sorts of good stuff. All right. So that was exercise 8. That seemed a little too easy. Exercise 9. Only one of the sentences in this exercise makes sense as it stands. I hate this nonsense. I hate the this is wrong. Deal with not the language you want to learn. But that's why we just go to the answer key, which, by the way, the new edition, the second edition of Routledge Colloquial Hebrew doesn't have an answer key. Doesn't have a glossary. It says go to the answer key, and there's no answers. Album. Okay, fine. Well, you can see I'm typing really the cheating style, but like we're trying to learn a language here. I'm not trying to like be the best typist in Hebrew. Banui. Okay. Banuya. No, wait, that's banav. Okay, banui. Matzav ruach. Matzav girl. Bechura. I have that card. I actually know what the picture is for that card. For bechura. So I don't need that new vocabulary. That was actually earlier in the book. And then we have, boom, all these sentences, and they're out of order and make no sense. So, like, forget that. Working my way back from the key to the exercises. Unit 14. What are we? Unit 13, exercise 9. Yep. Oh, look. It had how to say it. Okay. Say it decisively. All right. Exercise 9. Oh, and one of them was just correct? Get out of here. So this is annoying. It's got, I got to do a little bit of work here. Don't drink the hot tea too fast. So now here's a fun exercise for me. I have it transliterated. I have to write it now in real letters. Let's see, is that let's see. Is it? Oh, I was right. Oh, it just wants us to switch the wrong word. That might be easier to do this here, but whatever. I'll do it this way. Exercise 9. Hacham bimhirut. Don't drink the hot tea quickly. That seems like a legitimate sentence. Wrong pronunciation on wrong pronunciation on, I'm going to say it wrong if I don't look it up right now. Bitzchok. I love that. That's fun. I found your channel recently, by the way, and subscribed right away because I like the way you talk about language. Thank you. Is it that I talk about it both birtzinut but also bitzchok? I talk about it seriously, but also joke around. All right, thank you though. Him histaklu be'inyan. Okay, so I'm just gonna write this, and again, this is like I'm gonna sound terrible on these, and it's totally fine because I am going to learn it later. This is a longer process of learning, and it's actually really nice to just kind of take the pressure off for me. And I'm like, give me 6 months, and this stuff I'm gonna have it. I see this looks like precisely the thing you would not ever do. Yeah, I'm doing this almost as a I'm doing this for me, but I also don't know to what extent I mean, maybe I would just do this, but I'm also trying to help some other folks, especially like friends and family who've been struggling, where the finished product is a lot easier than making the product, and the finished product they use and have gotten a lot out of. So it's a project of love. Ba tmunot. I don't think it even gave me that one. Shib album. Let's just see if Google tells me. They looked at the pictures in the album with great interest, so that seems like I actually wrote everything correctly. Okay, כדי שתנהג בזהירות. Okay, let's just... What is this? When you will drive carefully or slowly. She didn't really want to settle on one. זה אסור בנוי ויש פה הרבה ילדים. Oh, you should, so it's worth it to drive slowly, or you should drive slowly. זה אסור, this should be אזור. See, typos. Let's see, אזור, an area, בנוי. ויש פה, see, like, this is kind of a long sentence, but that's fine. I might earlier on have broken this up. הרבה ילדים. Okay. בקושי חזרתי. Okay, בקושי. With great difficulty. חזרתי. I returned. מחול ומיד הייתי צריך לנסוע שוב. מחול. Oh, from abroad? I'm going to take a look at what this actually says in here. Yeah, like this is a process that's annoying. Okay, so bekosh, so this is the wrong word. It's great, I already fixed it. Chazarti michul. Yep, okay. I was right. So add michul. ומייד הייתי צריך לנסוע שוב. So, and I had to immediately הייתי צריך לנסוע שוב. Now, go ahead and ask me, like, how many times did I see these words in Duolingo, and did I learn them that way? I just locked them in this way. Okay, I see. We use le'at and maher rather than be'itiyut and bimherut. Yeah, that is what I've heard more of. And be'itiyut is way less common. So, do I have that in an example sentence here? What's funny is I've learned le'at and maher, and I'm much more likely to use those, but it's nice for me to kind of learn these example sentences. I think I see a further comment on this. Labor of love makes sense. I'm going to go by random low-level input, watching 6 gazillion times till I get it. Fair. The other thing is I have a children's encyclopedia, like illustrated encyclopedia, and that's next for this, just to have like vocabulary for all different domains in life. And that's going to be really annoying, but I'm going to do it. It's going to be fun. Okay, so what do we have? היא אמרה בשמחה שיש לה בעיות, so not בשמחה. בעיות בריאות. So this is, here's one. I know problems, I know health, but I should actually probably just do health problems here as like its own thing. בעיות בריאות, and then I guess they want us to say, she said, batzav, right? Sadly. So let me write that. He amra. Should I just speak with a very thick American accent? Like, he amra be'atzav she yeshla. Be'ayot briut. Okay, I think once I've done this, I'm going to add a few pictures to the other one because you get the idea of what I'm doing. I'm just doing it. And I'll add some pictures. You see kind of how that goes. And then I'm going to go have like a snack or a cup of coffee. That could be good. I said, we'll get me to fluent to Japanese in 10 years. Yeah. You know what? I think I'm increasingly, I'm of the opinion that it's nice to have a steady practice and like do it focused and you're learning. You actually are doing something when you do it each time. It's not just I'm wasting time on it, but to not be like, oh, I'm going to learn in 3 months or 6 months or whatever. I say that in the middle of like a 3 month sprint right now, but I really feel like I can see the benefit of just continuing to do this after the trip that I have and after, just like, okay, I'm going to do this for a couple years and see where that gets me. And I think that's a better way to be. And I've only really started appreciating that after 40, after a PhD, after like, like there's so many things where like I wish I had done this before. I'm actually working, this is a total tangent right now, but I'm working on stenography, like just being able to type faster because I have so much writing that I do, and I type about half as fast as I think. So if I could double my typing speed, who knows? I could double my output, and like, it's like printing money or making more hours in the day. But that's one of those things, like, I had the tools and I could have been doing it for years and years and years. I think I started around 2019 and I just kind of off and on looked at it and whatever. And now I'm like, if I just do 15 minutes a day, then next year will probably be the first time that I actually see any benefit from it. But if I had started that last year, I'd be good at it now. So I got to just like change my time frame. So אני מדבר בצחוק. Oh, no, המצב מסוכן. Okay, so again, I hate this where it's like the words are wrong. Now fix it. It's not a good way to learn a language. That people don't intentionally say wrong things all the time, and so it's actually kind of a useless exercise. ברצינות, אני מדבר ברצינות. ברצינות, and what did it say? המצב מסוכן. The situation is dangerous. I wish that wasn't always the case. It's like extremely useful vocabulary all the time. היא בחורה מאוד אינטליגנטית. היא בחורה מאוד intelligentית. היא עושה הכל בקלות. Okay, so that'll give me whatever the wrong word is there, but I'll just go back. Yeah, I really feel validated by those of you in the comments saying this is annoying. It's tedious. Although tedium kind of does actually help with doing something if you're actually just in it for a while. I'm not saying tedium helps with language learning, but like being able to just sit through the tedium can be helpful. היא עושה הכל בקלות. It's nice to be smart. Good for her. Okay, so that's, there's plenty more in this chapter, but what I'm going to do is pivot to my image adding, because I'm actually getting out ahead of myself on some of these, and I need to have images. So let's see. Let's see, question, what is the future of linguistics when the internet is giving us one language? The future of linguistics is the future of the study of language is bright. The future of linguistics in various departments is very dim. But the internet is very much not giving us one language. Maybe. I mean, there's always like a lingua franca in English, or like imagined internet English is definitely becoming its own sort of lingua franca in its own right. But languages are diverging, dialects are diverging, things are constantly changing. So, yeah, we don't have the one world language, even though the Esperantists are, really hoping that we will. There's dozens of them. Let's see. ADHD, I've tackled 4 or 5. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it is possible. Let's see. I see from Caracord with recording stuff, you must be talking about different things than I am. So let's see. I have my images here. Actually, do I have my... Yeah, you notice this. I have all these errors that I've spotted, and I add the tag, fix this. So for instance, I think this one says im instead of am. Let's hear the audio.
לרקוד ריקודיים.
Yeah, so you know what, just as an example, I'll fix it right now. You can see kind of what I'm doing. Let's see, I want, does this work? Does this work? No. Okay, well I know how to do it on my this computer, so let's try this. No. There we go. All right, so now I can click up here because I pay for the HyperTTS subscription. It gives me all these options. I'm going to select from field, preview audio. I'm using Google WaveNet.
לרקוד ריקודי עם.
That sounds about right.
לרקוד ריקודי עם.
At least she's not saying im. So I'll replace this. I'll get rid of my fix tag, and there's plenty more to fix. Now, I think this one has all the images. Pull is open, like Crusader. And again, I'm going with like memes. I'm going with like for rabbis, it's 770. I'm going with images that evoke. Oh, this one I haven't finished. Okay, so I'm gonna add images here. And this is the problem. I gotta stay ahead of my learning. So in the name of, okay, he's found and located. I think that's where I left off. She's found and located. So Nimtza, this is I think, will the VOD be available? Yeah, it should be. The VOD should be available after I end the stream. If not, somebody can let me know, because they all, I have them all in the back end, so I should be able to see it. Okay, found or located. He is found. Now I've been doing, let's see, located. This is where I left off. But I want like send me your location. This will be a good one. And I'll just copy, drop that in there. This stuff works remarkably well. So I have one that's Chuck Norris saying, like, I know all about you. He's like, Walker, Texas Ranger. And like, I remember Aleichem because I see Chuck Norris in my mind's eye. Let's see, she's located. Apologies when I look at the memes, apologies if anything untoward or, you know, oh, whoops, anything inappropriate comes up. I occasionally see things where I'm like, didn't expect that. So she sent me her location. Bruh, the fuck is this? Love it. Actually, I like this spooky one even better. So, Nimtza Sham, right? That's scary. Ali. I don't know if I want an Ali meme. I might just do a regular picture. So I'll do Ali freepik. That works for me. And it may be that it evokes, actually I like this one better. It evokes something different for native Hebrew speakers, but this is good enough for me. Sometimes I'll search in Hebrew. And I mentioned stenography. Have I started practicing typing with a steno keyboard? I have two. I have the Soft Love, which is a split ergonomic that can be used for QWERTY as well. And I have the Uni, which is fantastic. So yes, I love them. I needed to get something, let's see, let me unplug this gently so I don't unplug my internet. And I needed to get something like this to really be able to get into steno. I didn't like using something that was both for QWERTY and steno. Let's see, Ali's, I get the same kind of images, so I don't know that I need that, but whatever. I'll do this. Actually, no, I like this. Like this one, very colorful. It doesn't really matter what you put here. But literally just having something works. Now, ancient, let's do ancient ruins. I'm sure this would be a great one for a meme, but I'm not going to worry about that. Actually, ancient, let's do meme for the feminine, so atik. Let's see. I mean, honestly, ancient aliens, like, I'm going to know what that is, and I'm gonna think about, like, atik, atika. He is interested. That's going to be a meme one. This will do. Really doesn't matter. There's something about just having an image. It doesn't really matter what it is. She is interested. This will probably be like a man who's oblivious. Okay. I don't know. Yeah, this is the usual, like, oh my god, how can you tell if a girl likes you? B'chol zot, so despite all that, nevertheless, and anyway, freepik. That's not great. B'chol zot. Yeah, okay, so this is where it takes a little bit of work, but this actually really, really helps. So anyway, let's try meme. B'chol zot. Fine. But it's sort of like nevertheless, right? Nevertheless, b'chol zot, like, okay. I feel like there should be a nevertheless, she persisted, but this is fine. When I use nevertheless in a sentence, I'm sprinkling it. Okay, he brought to heavy. Brought meme. Love it. Come on, baby, don't be like that. I brought you some toast. It's an alligator bringing toast. I'm gonna remember this. I have a bunch of kittens doing things. I got Winnie the Pooh for like having a book. I have that locked in my head because it's got Winnie the Pooh with a book on his head. She brought. Fine. Really doesn't matter. I brought you a stick. They brought. Right? See, I'm just doing my conjugations here. And it really... They're late. They brought you snacks. That's going to be fine. Him heviu. Him heviu. Community. I hope that I actually get a meme from the show Community, because that would be... Yep. Okay. Community. This is, it's so dumb and it works so well. Okay, Omanut. Art, I don't know that I want memes, so let's go freepik. Omanut. I love this. Look at this. It's like Picasso, but vector art, and it's probably AI generated. Despite. Okay. Despite is more accurate. That's what they're saying in the chat for b'chol zot. How would you translate despite all my rage? I'm still just a rat in a cage. Because that's what I'll use for that. I feel like that would be lamrot, but let me know. Okay, Fortress of Solitude. Mipsar. I knew that. Actually, Fortress. Let's see. I might do Fortress of Solitude. Okay, meme Fortress. That's going to be a problem. So, freepik. Cool. This'll do. And sometimes I look at it, I'm like, oh, but that other picture looks cooler. It doesn't matter. Crusader Fortress. Now, I think they're actually talking about, like, Tzfat or something. But, or, let's try this. This is an actual Crusader Fortress in a real place. That's what they're talking about. So how about I do the interior of the Akko Crusader Fortress? That's the other thing, is like I could just Google the things that they're talking about. So it's like, take a left on, like, you know, Frischman Street. And I'm like, actually, I can Google that intersection and take a screenshot. Artists. This is fine. So this is my whole process. And oh, that's not an artist. And it is, yeah, it's a little tedious, and it is super duper effective, which is why I'm still doing it, 12, 13 chapters in. And I say it could be hard to lock down words according to their smell rather than visually. You know, I'm working on smell-o-vision on the Anki deck. You just need about, like, 1,000 jars of, like, perfumers samples, and you want all the, like, stinky things. Like, it smells exactly like seawater and moss and old stones and, like, dead crusaders. Okay, atmosphere, avira, atmosphere. Is nice atmosphere. Fine. It's probably not what's meant. Let's see if there's a good meme for me here. The key is to not like overthink it. Fine, no atmosphere, no problem. That'll do it. Because especially for the ADHDers out there, like it's going to be really tempting to find the perfect picture. Doesn't matter. Don't do the perfect picture. Resident. I'm going to get Resident Evil. No? Residence. Doing residency. Lame. I mean, not lame. Sorry to all the doctors out there. It's just not what I need. Let's see. Resident. Freepik. Because I want a resident, right? Like, fine. These will do. I have a lot of like people in houses because it turns out like I'm leaving home. I'm coming home. Like I have a home. It's kind of Tzfat. Resident of Tzfat. Fine. I'm just gonna have a picture of. Oh wait. No, those are tourists. But you know what? Tourists in Tzfat. That's great. You might ask, are you a resident of Tzfat? Or I can get this guy who is definitely a resident of Tzfat. What is that? Toshev? I'm one of the artists who lives here. Artist. Tzfat. Let's see. Okay. I'm getting text. So like Tzfat, I don't know that I want to use somebody's painting for sale, right? That could be a problem. Although it's a advertisement for the painting, so maybe I do that and I just leave a little tag in there. So if I ever do share this, that's Alex Levine. Let me add a tag. And then what do you think about the view? Okay. I'm gonna take a risk here. Nice view, meme. Yeah, okay. Not surprised. From here you can see not only Mount Meron, but on a clear. So Mount Meron. I see things coming through here. Okay, so Mount Meron from Wikipedia. That means it is wiki-free. Okay. As a native Hebrew speaker, it will help you understand how to read it and know some words, but still completely different than the modern one. I assume Zebel is answering a question about biblical Hebrew and not the immediately preceding context, which was smell-o-vision. Smelling the words will help you read, but it doesn't help you speak. My Hebrew is absolute garbage. 7 years in Israel, and I sound like a toddler. We could start a club. I have not been in Israel, but I have spent about 5-7 years studying, and I'm just now getting to where I can communicate, and I probably still sound like a toddler who's been hit upside the head. But, you know, I'm still communicating. Let's see. Yeah, we were talking about biblical Hebrew down here. So almost no meaning without a biblical dictionary. You can do that. So I honestly, I'm going to play devil's advocate here. Which weirdly ironic thing to say and wrong religion, but I do think that learning modern Hebrew gives a tremendous head start for biblical Hebrew. Not because they're the same language, because they're not. And a lot of the words actually mean different things. So for instance, like shekel is like a weight, because back in those days you didn't have coins, they hadn't been invented yet, so it was a weight of silver, and kesef is silver, not money, and so like you just like there's all these things that mean something slightly different. But that's also just how languages work, and it's a huge head start. And once you have an idea of how the language works, then learning the specifics of biblical Hebrew are a lot easier, having tried both ways. And also I think the really big part for me is like modern Hebrew. I can speak with people. I can like you can have a meaningful conversation. You have like a day-to-day that's like it's really tangible, and it helps me to be able to say like, oh, I can order a cup of coffee in Hebrew, or I can ask where the coffee is from. All that stuff. I have an example sentence here that's like "Me'efo a café? Café u mi Colombia." Once you have that, then it's a lot easier, I think, to start learning the specifics of biblical Hebrew, especially because biblical and Mishnaic Hebrew are still used in a lot of the formal register of modern Hebrew, and there's all sorts of literary allusions and all sorts of stuff there where it's like it's connected to the living language, so it really shortens the distance. Okay, Avira, it doesn't translate to space atmosphere. It's more like ambience vibe, and I knew that. Thank you for that correction. I'm going to keep my astronaut there because I already have in mind that it's like the vibes. Because like mezig avir, right? Like I know the atmosphere is probably a loan word also from Greek, so like atmosphere or something. But yeah. Let's see. What is my opinion of lingua latina per se illustrata? I don't have one yet, but I can get one. Does anyone care to discuss the word that? I often find it's unnecessary. Some told me French do it too. That is a relativizer, and it's just a function word that some languages optionally allow deletion of, some languages don't have, and some languages, like Hebrew, you have to use it. It's obligatory. Let's see. Go to France. Sounds great. Totally recommend learning modern Hebrew first. Not before moving to France, although weirdly can help. You never know. Like you run into people. And before you speak either of those languages, man, they sound alike, right? The uvular R, the R. All right. Please stop with the language Latina. Simple. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, shekel works for like weighing my options. Yeah, like ani shokel, right? Exactly. But like a shekel, like a coin. There wasn't coinage before. Let's see. Have you already walked around the city? So let's see. Walking around. I'll say safed because that's how they like doing this on things that aren't, published by Koren. Shutterstock, royalty free. Probably with some caveats that I'll have to figure out, but no, not yet. Okay, I don't think I need a not yet, but let's see if I can find a not yet. No war. Okay, if not now, when? Beit Hillel has entered the chat. I am absolutely doing it not now, when with Lord. This is my first time in Svat. First time. That's gonna be. I can already see the meme in my mind's eye. First time meme. Yep. And this is a classic Coen Brothers movie. Ballad of whatever. Okay. Atmosphere. Okay. French can help in Israel depending on where you are. Yeah, there's a lot of francophone olim. What should we see? I don't know about that. What should we see? See, this is what I mean. Inappropriate memes. Why did I bother? Okay, let's try freepik. Ay, ay, ay. Oy vavoy. Alright, she's weighing her options here. That's fine. There's a lot to see. I've learned my lesson with the memes. Well, we're live, everybody. There's a lot to see. Well, he's got a lot to do. Let's see. Freepik, there's a lot to see. She's looking at the map. She's overwhelmed. That's fine. I like these guys. No, I like her with the googly goggles from her hands. Svet has a rich history. Yes, it does. Safed. Freepik. Oh, safed. Safed Israel. Ooh. Very pretty. And like the fact that this doesn't really have any content in terms of the image doesn't matter. It's just a different image from the other ones. And I'm going to have like blue and yellow in my mind's eye when I think about like rich history. It just works. It shouldn't work. It just works. It doesn't matter what I see. It doesn't matter what language I'm studying. I fall into bad German after a few words. Is that normal? Yes, if you've been speaking bad German more and longer. I fell into bad Italian in my last Hebrew lesson where I just kept saying, instead of aval, I would say ma, and instead of ken, I'd say si, and then everything else is in Hebrew, but I couldn't stop with like ma, ma. So, yeah. I see. If you know modern Hebrew, you really appreciate the poetry of the Bible. That is 100% true. And then the truth is easier said gematria also. Yes. It's yes to either meaning of if you know Gematria, you appreciate it more, or if you know modern Hebrew, you appreciate Gematria more. In the 12th and 13th centuries, during the Crusader period, so let's see, Crusader. And I'll wrap up in a few minutes. There we go, this guy. Actually, this guy looks... They're not doing a good job of not looking like the bad guys. You know what I mean? Like, that's not a good dude right there. Like, okay, Sfed was a fort of strategic importance. I already have strategic importance in my vocab. For fort. Here, fine. Later. Yoter meuchar. This is going to be just, these are the problem ones where it's just like different time concepts and all you get is like a picture of a clock. And I've probably used a bunch of these. I'm not sure that this is the translation that they wanted. So let me see. What am I in? Sport and culture, and they go to Tzfat. Maybe. This is actually, Peter's got like a whole story here. So he comes from England, and then he doesn't have the appropriate clothes, and then he goes to the Dead Sea, and then he gets dehydrated, and then he has to go to the doctor. I'm going to just leave a note to myself to fix this one. Just in case, or check this one. That's what I'll do. During the Turkish rule. Okay. Ottoman rule. Ooh, okay. Spooky. In the 16th century, that's kind of... Let's see what I get. You know, that's actually surprisingly fine. 16th century style images. Okay. Wouldn't inappropriate means help, kind of like naughty mnemonics? Yes, they do, and I have a bunch of them in here. I just there's a certain level. I'm trying to balance naughty mnemonics without being like super crass or making it like a deck that I can't share with anybody or would feel embarrassed for, like, you know, my parents or whoever to see. Actually, my parents wouldn't care, but like, if I would feel embarrassed if, like, I don't know, somebody saw it on the train or whatever. Oh, still making you jealous with all the mind's eye talk. Yeah, I got a good mind's eye. What can I say? Jews who came from Spain settled in Sfat. So let's see. You know what I'm doing? Like, nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. How can I resist? It's become a great cultural and spiritual center. Like, this is... Oh, okay. I don't know. Spiritual. Meme. Picard. Okay. You know what? I'm going to do that when you're in alignment, though. I like this better. Oh. Copy and paste. Let's go. Great and famous rabbis here. Do I dare with famous rabbis? Actually, Yitzhak Luria, right? Like... Can I spell? Hak Luria. Yeah. Oh, Isaac Luria. Okay. Isaac Luria. This is an actual famous rabbi that they're probably talking about from Sfat in the 1500s. Because, you know, he's just... Oh. Problem. Next sentence is, have you heard of Yitzhak Luria? Okay. So, okay, Luria and the Kabbalah. We go here. I got to go back. Famous rabbis. Famous rabbis in history. It actually says that. Beautiful. This is not a famous rabbi, but it's a picture. And it'll do. It's like an imagined famous rabbi. Oh. Famous rabbis. Have you heard of Yitzhak Luria? I have. Again, Vadai. Yes, of course. Meme. This is totally, the thing is, like, this really works, but it is totally unhinged when you're careening back and forth between like historical pictures of like poets living in Sfat and then just memes. Um, the famous Kabbalist. The famous Kabbalist, definitely gonna say Madonna. And I know, like, they're talking about Luria, but this is like the sentences are going to eventually be completely out of order as I need different review times. So it's fine. Luria Synagogue, right? It says you should visit this place. That's a real place. I'm going to just put the picture of the place. Thanks, Chabad. You're everywhere, including in my Anki deck. Let's see. It's located in one of the alleys of the old city, so why don't I just take another picture of it? Being one of the alleys. Are you interested in Kabbalah? I'm about to wrap this up, but I really want to see if there's memes here. I kind of like that. Kabbalah is a wonderful religion that mixes the fun of Judaism with magic. I will add that. Is that from 30 Rock? Okay, what brought me to Tzfat was a special atmosphere. That's Avira HaMiuchedet. Avira HaMiuchedet. Special atmosphere. Good vibes? Good vibes. Special vibes. No. Special atmosphere. This part I actually find a little, like, fun. Cute cat with birthdays. Why? I don't know why that's happening, but I like it. Kind of like that atmosphere. I'll do nice atmosphere. Right, so this is from the IT crowd. I'll use that. The artistic community. Please be funny. Nothing. I'm not seeing anything great here. Okay, what is this about History of the World Part 1? Okay. Yeah, famous Kabbalist Madonna. I mean, come on, who's the most famous Kabbalist in the world? From the Kabbalah Center. The Kabbalah. Okay, let's see. And the thing is, I'm not going to forget that. I'm going to see it like once. Let's see. So that makes it even funnier. The joke's so stupid, you're the only one laughing. Okay, lo yaduim, unknown. Let's do an unknown meme. Unknown meme. Okay. Love it. All right. To settle down or to settle, let's see. Because they're talking about, like, Crusaders settling, I think. Crusader settlements. I don't want to Google settlements. I'm not going to do that. The comments on the VOD on this is going to be ridiculous. So it came here precisely for the Spanish Inquisition. Something's wrong if we've come to expect the Spanish Inquisition. Okay. He sits down. This is not sits down. This is settles down. So this needs, like, a correction. And this is, like, to settle, right? So let me actually... Lehit Yashiv. Let's see... Maze Lehit Yashiv. Ooh, Wiktionary is like, it's not a real word. But Lehit Yashiv is, okay. To settle down, to settle or inhabit. One of the native speakers here, please tell me if you can use, like, Lehit Yashiv is like a command, like, settle down now, like, calm down. Let's see, the guy from Pi is a famous Kabbalah. Yeah, okay, that's true. But I have Madonna. Okay, hityashiv. Let's see. You know what? I can also just answer my own questions with reverso. Settle and live off the land. Settle down with settle down like with a family. Okay. And then this will just say hityashav. What was the hityashvi? A clump of dust settled on the windowsill. Gush avak hityashav. Okay. Perch settled. Dude, it's coming to seated. Okay, I'm gonna try to figure this out. Yeah. Zivel, I see you learning Gemara with the rabbi. I wish you success and joy and all of that. Gematria, like Kabbalah, less my thing. I'm 40 now. I could study it. But I actually have a book called Gematria Refigured, which is interesting. It's like there needs to be some limits on this. Here's when it's valid, here's when it's not. Wouldn't the command form be shvi? That should be of yashav, and this is the reflexive, right? For the hitpael constructions, I think it's hityashev, hityashvi, hityashvu. Yeah. That's sit down, not like settle down, right? Like, oh, tishev. Okay, tishev, sit down. Is that what you say that? Like if somebody's like too much, and you're just like, tishev, have a seat. Have all the seats. All right, I think I've done, let's say, lilbosh, lihitlabesh. So they're teaching hitpael verbs here. I think I've done enough. And I think it's time for a snack. So I'm going to sync my additions here. I'm going to take a few minutes and actually talk to all of you. Let's see if I can actually switch my view. Here we go. And I'm going to take a few more minutes and then go have a snack, have a coffee, take a break. I feel like I've earned it. Actually, I should learn how to say take a break and how to say take a nap. Lasot schnatz, which is like my favorite phrase. Come to rest or light upon. Yeah, but I think come to rest. So I see that in the chat. Come to rest or light upon for hityashev, the hityashev. But it also seems like settle down in a place. Like they settled in Tzfat, right? Is the example sentence they're giving. Honestly, just having this conversation, I'm probably going to remember hityashvu b'Tzfat as the main use case for this. Teshev is what you use for your dog. Okay. So maybe don't say it to people. I don't know. But let's see. Have a snack. Take a break. I might as well. Let's learn this together while I'm here. I'll switch English. Have a snack. I don't know a snack. And I feel like that's kind of an important part of my life is snacks. So a snack. Chituf? No. What is this? Chatif? Chatif? Somebody tell me how to say snack. זה חשוב מאוד. אני צריך, what is it? Chatif? I can copy and paste this into Wiktionary. This is just how I spend my time. Nope. Okay, I'll not copy and paste. I will actually write it out, thereby solidifying the Chatif. Chatif. אני רוצה חטיף. Okay, חטיף. So have it. Oh, is it a verb? No. This is just way too many declensions for no reason. Okay, chatif, and it comes from roots related to what? Roots related to noun, snack, chataf. Oh, you snatch. It's something you snatch, to grab or kidnap. Terrible. Chatuf is kidnapped or a moment. You snatch a moment. Okay, so what do I have a snack? Have a snack, had a snack. Let's see. Having. Oh. What verb do I do? Do I chotef, chatif? Le'echol chatif. That's too much like the right thing to do. Yesh chatif. Just make yourself at home. Yesh chatif. Can you say that as an imperative? Yesh chatif? לקבל חטיף. Oh, אני יכול לקבל חטיף. סליחה, אדוני, אני יכול לקבל חטיף, משהו לאכול. I think that's going to be the only thing that I need. I'm going to go to Machne Yehuda and I'm just going to say all that. סליחה, אדוני. All right, let's see. חטיף, חטיף, direction to the bathroom, שירות, לעשות שנץ. Oh, take a snack, we would say, Lenash, is that Lenash Nesh? The plot is thickening. Lenash Nesh. Unless I'm saying it wrong, I'm gonna, I need transliteration whenever people give me the words, but then tell me how to say it so I don't sound dumb. Okay, Lenash Nesh, is that a word? Doesn't show up here. Yeah, chataf is to abduct you. Yeah, the comments are coming in a minute late. I'm curious. Okay, so lakachat, hafsaka, take a break. Yeah. Okay. Lakachat hafsaka, leachol chatif, לעשות שנץ. That's really what I want. Is it like Linash Nesh, like having a nosh? Like Yesh Mashu Hu Linash Nesh? I love that. I'm just gonna have a nosh, you know? Like, and you want to say Linash Nesh. Yesh Mashu Linash Nesh? Oh, I love this. Okay. I always get the best stuff, right? The very tail end. Okay. Okay, hafsakat. Okay, I'm reading on my screen here. Nash is Yiddish for sure. It's slang. Linash nesh. Okay. And do you? I say like ani menash nesh chatif, or is that like? All right, I'm gonna share my screen again with you also because I'm gonna look for some of this on like Reverso, and then I'm really done. I'm gonna lakachat hafsaka. Lakachat hafsaka. Lakachat hafsakat zman. Can I say that? Okay. Let's switch this back to Hebrew and see if I can get some lenash nesh or ani menash nesh. He menash neshet. Oh, what a wonderful language. Menash nesh. Mashu. Snack on. Oh, to snack on something. With potentially inappropriate examples. Where does gay come in here? Okay. Snack on, nibble on. I can see. Okay. So nishnashti mashu? Nishnashti if you're nashti. Okay, nishnashti on everything bagel. Bagel im. Okay. I munched on, I snacked on. I wonder if I can say nishnashti chatif. Okay. Cool. I am so happy to learn all of this stuff. Let me come back to OBS and I'll finish this up. And I will try to make the live stream available, VOD. Afsika. Okay, it's good for a break. I don't even need to mention a chatif. Say ani menash nesh, it's usually referred to snacks, but I want to know a snack. Ani rotze chatif. Ani, like, okay. Cool. Everybody have a wonderful afternoon, evening. Yeah, Pesach Zman is a snack. Is actually I've had Pesach Zman. It's the hazelnut one. It's fantastic. And that's hafsaka. Okay, it's all related. It's all fitting together like the roots and the roots and the vowels. All right, so for wherever you are, have a wonderful evening. Have a wonderful rest of your morning. If you're on the East Coast, you got 6 minutes left there. And I'll try to get back to live streaming. I've got a lot of things in the works. And as I'm sure some of you have noticed, as I now have a editor who's good, it frees me up a lot more time to write, to do ideation, to do the occasional live stream. And so I'm looking forward to being able to do a little bit more. I'm going to get back to Persian in a few months. I'm going to get back to Italian. So there's going to be a lot of fun there. Nish nashti something nashti. What is that? Magil? Like it makes me ill. Disgusting. Thank you. Pleasure chatting Hebrew without the politics. Thank you. I know you're thanking me, but thank you. Um, and yeah, really appreciate all the conversation and all the context and like the good vibes. I've been a little reluctant to live stream in the last little while because things have been pretty bad here, just on the street, and I figure like in the comment sections it's a little nasty. So I really appreciate the discussion and the chat and the comments and the general vibe, the avira, right? The sort of avira miyuchedet in the chat here. So thank you all. Look forward to seeing you all soon. And I see Thriving in Hamburg came at the end. There'll be more, and it'll be up online later. So yeah, Zeva says missed the live streams. I'm glad you made it too. If yeah, I got big things in the works. I'll talk to all of you soon about some good stuff. So let's see. I'd like to send you an email. How can I reach you? Anybody who wants to send me an email, I do get a lot of them, so I'm a little slow on reacting. But it is very simple. It's languagejones at Gmail. I think I may have like locked myself out of Language Jones, or maybe somebody else is squatting on it. I don't know. But the Language Jones at Gmail, not those other Language Joneses. And don't be upset if it takes me a long time to get back to you, because I have probably 5,000 emails in the inbox, and a lot of them are like, will you sponsor our AI learning app, or can you answer this question for me, or like there's just all sorts of stuff. But please don't hesitate to actually send me that email. Just recognize it'll take a while. All right, I'm going to go. I hope you all had a wonderful time. I may sit here quietly for like a minute because I think I cut off the end of the last live stream, so I'm going to try to not do that this time. But yeah, I'm gonna end it. So I guess I can trim the end if I'm just sitting here staring off into space. But yeah, until next time, happy learning, everybody, and hopefully I'll see you on the next live stream. Literally just watching to see if my delay has caught up to myself.